Hello, how are you guys tonight? It is Keto Couch, even though I'm in my office. I just wanted to come down here where there's some light and the dogs are up there, Josh is up there, so I thought I'd come down in my office and do Keto Couch tonight. So I put on Facebook earlier a video that didn't upload for some reason. My service was pretty shoddy today, so I'm pretty sure that's why. It was a taste test of the new ketones, and oh my gosh, they're so good. They're cherry. If you don't like cherry, not so good for you. But for me, delicious. So what we're going to talk about, I wanted to talk about, I put a post up earlier and asked what people wanted to see. There was lots of varieties, but one of the things was some of the benefits of keto, low-carb diets, and then also long-term. And so I did a little research and then put my 2 cents in here, of course. And I wanted to just talk to you briefly about that. I've done lots of videos on the benefits and 101s and in your ketosis and intermittent fasting, but a lot of people are starting fresh because it's January. So I thought I would go back, and a lot of this will be stuff that you've already heard me talk about, but we'll talk about it again, okay? So how is everybody on this Sunday of playoffs? Are we so excited? Pretty excited about the Rams, I gotta tell you. I have a really special friend that passed away this year, or last year, 18, and he was a huge Rams fan. So I think they're going to the Super Bowl because someone helped him a little bit. What do you guys think? So anyway, I'm looking forward to that. I don't know who else is playing, or I don't know a lot about football besides that I love the Super Bowl. Aw, thanks for giving me love, whoever did that. I appreciate it. Tell me where you guys are coming in from. Who's keto? Who's low carb? Who's out there fighting the battle every day, right? It is a battle. So anyway, let's get into it. Anybody have any questions or comments, please put them in there. I will, if I don't respond while I'm talking, I always go back and respond to all messages, okay? And if you guys have any requests for Keto Couches, we do it every Sunday around this time. Sometimes 6-ish, depends on my life and what's going on. And today was a hat day, as you can see. It's always a hat day on Sundays if I don't want to get up early. It's my favorite. I'm fighting this little head cold, so excuse me if I cough. All right, so some of the health benefits. Arkansas. Hi, Renee. How are you? I appreciate you watching and just getting started. Perfect. I have lots to share with you, of course. And of course, I don't know it all, and I do research just like I have trained you guys to do, but I've been living it for a bit, over a year now, and I'm in some great groups, and I'm in one of my really good groups has, I think, 122,000 people, and we're all doing keto or low carb and ketones. So it's a great group to learn from, and there's somebody that has probably anything health-wise that you can imagine is in that group. So if you want me to add you to that group, just let me know. It's a secret group. We have to be friends for me to add you, and then I can just add you, and there's lots of knowledge in there. So I'd be happy to do that. Just put I want in the group or something in the comments, and I will add you. Okay, so some of the health benefits of either keto or low carb. And some of the things that we're going to talk about is when you're in ketosis. And ketosis is when you're in a high fat diet. Low carb is just a low carb diet and you're not so worried about your fat. So there is some differences with these two diets, but I like to hit both because a lot of people think they're doing keto and really you're just doing a low carb diet because you have to have your fats pretty high, meaning you have to use an app and make sure, and I don't use an app now, but I started to. And then once I got the feel for it and how I felt, you can feel it when you're in ketosis. And I think what a lot of people don't understand about ketosis is that's your native state. When you were born, you're born in Hi, Amy. You're born in ketosis. So it's our normal state. So being in ketosis or taking ketones is what's natural for our body, which is the way we're supposed to run. And so you're going to have a lot of people, and especially doctors and different people like that, who aren't going to agree with it because our, magic pill. And this is, I don't need to go into this a lot, but if you have any questions about the keto diet, and it's only been known for over 100 years, and that's it. So watch The Magic Pill. It's on Netflix. I would totally recommend that. In fact, when people email me or message me, which happens every day, tons of people. I have a hard time keeping up, actually. So if I don't respond right away, I'm sorry for that. But I do try to respond in a timely manner. The few things that I recommend are these. 1, research. 2, download an app so you can calculate. 3, cut out carbs slowly. And then 4, watch that magic pill. It kind of explains the business behind diets. There is that factor of grain is the number one thing in our society. It's the money, So yeah, people aren't going to suggest the keto diet, which means no grain. And I'm not going to get into that. That's a whole nother live that I don't plan on ever doing, to be honest with you, because I don't want to battle it. I know what works for me. I know how I feel. And I feel like this was brought into my life to share. And that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to give you the knowledge that I have. And I'm not a doctor, and I'm not here to tell you what's right or wrong. I'm just here to tell you how and what I have seen from people that I am associated with, my own self, and, out there. I've been doing research on it for over a year. In fact, I started before I even started the diet researching. So anyway, I'll get off my soapbox right now. And back to the health benefits. The first one that I'm going to talk about is energy. So your energy level is going to rise. You're going to have a few days, a week of what's called the keto flu. Some people have it, some people don't. Some people very much suffer from it. Anyone out there suffer from it or not suffer from it? Let me know. Tell me how you felt. I suffered from it in a little bit in the beginning, and then I started taking ketones, which are just a natural form that you can ingest, which puts you in ketosis. And it just gives your body ketones that it will produce by itself, but it's a foolproof biohacking my body and telling it what I want it to do, which we all do with some kind of vitamin or, that kind of thing. So I took those, which helped immensely with my keto flu, because I was definitely a sugar addict. So I was going to suffer. And I did for a couple days, and then I started taking ketones, and it just went away. So after the flu's gone, you start to burn fat as fuel. And that is the fat burning stage. And it is, your endurance improves. Everything just runs like a machine. Instead of that glucose and that sugar slowing us down and the highs and lows of our blood sugar going up and down, when you're going up and down, your body can't process. So your mind is foggy and your endurance is foggy. Everything is just this fog because it's going up and down on the sugar high and low, right? So when you're burning the fat as fuel, you're running like a machine. And that's the best way to describe it. You're just running like a machine. So it's like using gas and diesel. Diesel's a dirty fuel, sugar. And fat is a clean. And so it just runs like a machine. So that's the best way to explain how it works in your body. And that's when you're in ketosis, which is a natural state for our bodies, okay? The next thing is, hi, Dan. Thanks for joining us. The next thing is your anxiety and depression. It helps with that. These are the benefits of keto or low-carb diet. So because of what I just said, your brain running off of natural fats, healthy fats instead of sugar. And so when I say healthy fats, you can't have bad fats. It doesn't work the same, okay? You want to have healthy fats, put you in ketosis, and then boom, your brain just lifts and the fog is gone, and all of a sudden your anxieties and your worries and your depressions, all of that improves, I promise you. All of a sudden, little things don't bother you like they used to. And that's from the sugar addiction and what the sugar does to you. It kind of, it's just like any kind of addiction. You get anxiety when you need sugar, right? Just like any kind of addiction. So I don't think people understand how bad it really is, because you're in it. And we're all in it. Unless you're doing keto or a very, very low carb diet, you're in sugar addiction. You just don't really know it, okay? Type 2 diabetes. That's one of the benefits. It improves the your sugar levels and all of that, because of course you're running off of fat instead of sugar. How can it not help? So the liver gets healthier because the liver is, let's see, let me make sure I get this right. Fat in the liver becomes, when we have too much sugar, it becomes too fatty, right? So when you're running off of fat, clears it right up. So the liver will get healthier, okay? Inflammation. Running off of fat versus sugar stops the inflammation. And so, yeah, exactly. If you have anxiety, and, I had anxiety about certain things, and I would get all upset and in my head and all of this, and this has definitely helped. I also do a ton of podcasts and self-talk and I am statements and all of that, which is a whole nother live that we can do. But all of that together, I can just tell I'm much calmer. And I think any of my fellow workers, my coworkers and my friends and my family will tell you the same. I'm just happier. It's weird. And that's one of the reasons I know I'm in ketosis, because my mood is like, I'm happy. I'm like, dang. And I take ketones, so I'm in ketosis in an hour, and I'm there for 4 to 6 hours, and it's the best thing ever. My customers love it. It's not like, why is Wendy not grumpy this morning? Because it's really early, and she's been up since way early, and she's happy. What's going on? Well, I'll tell you, I'm in ketosis. It's great. Okay, so inflammation and everything. There's so many things that are bad when you have inflammation, your joints and this and that. The first time I was in keto for, a week or two. I jumped out of bed and went to the bathroom first thing in the morning, and I was like, whoa, how did I just do that? Normally it was like tippy toe because everything kind of hurt, and it was like, I'm almost 50 and this is not good, and that's gone, okay? But I will be honest with you, when I bring carbs back into my body, and I do that, holidays were horrible. Every once in a while, of course, I want to have pizza, or I want to have potato chips, or whatever it is. I don't do it very often because it is back immediately. When you bring it back in, it comes back. So I do not suggest that. Don't do that. Stay with the low carb, high fat. That's the best way. And then your sleep. You were going to notice after the flu, you're going to notice that your sleep is deeper. It's through the night. It's longer. You can sleep for longer if you're allowed. I only get 5 to 6 hours, but I sleep good in those 5 to 6 hours, and I wake up rested. So another health benefit, which is great. Okay, so those are some of the health benefits. Of course, there's weight loss, and you guys have seen my pictures, and if you haven't, go back and search. It's more measurements than actual number. I have a picture on one of my pages that there are only 2 pounds difference in the pictures. And if you look at those pictures, it's amazing the difference between my face, and it's only 2 pounds, but tons of inches, and inflammation is just gone. That's one of the main things that I noticed. Appetite control. And the reason is carbs equal cravings. So your appetite is suppressed when you're in ketosis because you're running like a machine and you're running off of your fat fuel, so you don't really need and you don't crave, right? Okay? And I think the foods that we're eating are more sustainable. And so that's where you're going to get into fasting, because you're going to be able to fast because you're eating these things that are so full of fats, and your body just starts running like a machine, and it doesn't need so much. And so you're going to learn how to start fasting after that. And I did a video on fasting, but I'm more than happy to talk about that more. But that's another topic that we don't need to get into tonight. But because of the high fat, you will be able to fast longer, okay? So if you're finding some value, I would love it if you would press, there's a little share button down there, share this video. And anyone who's considering keto, or you think they need keto, share it to them. Share it to their page, share it to your page, share it to any groups that you're in. It just kind of helps to get it out there. I really think that that's kind of where my focus is right now, is telling and helping and teaching. So anybody who would share, I'd really appreciate that. And people will appreciate it because they need it. They need to know. They need to know that it's not just a fluke. It works and people are feeling better. And I have so many customers with that have health issues, you know, and I've told them about keto, or I have a lot of people who take ketones, and they're seeing these wonderful benefits, and it just makes my heart so full to help. So please share this out, and I appreciate that. All right. Next thing is better mental focus. And we talked a little bit about this earlier, about the fog just lifts. And that's one of the things and that I've noticed in the mornings, definitely, is like, it's just like click. You know, as soon as I know I'm in ketosis, it just kind of is like, it just clicks and it's like, yeah, okay, I got this. And all of a sudden, I've always been a really good multitasker. It's something that I can do really well. Hi, Steph. But you're going to have to go back and you missed some of it. So start it at the beginning when we're done, okay? So anyway, the fog just lifts, and then I can really multitask, and I can really think ahead, and I can go here, there, all over the place, and it just works, you know? Your brain just works better. And there's a reason for that, because you're not, like I said earlier, your brain isn't the ups and downs of the highs and lows of the sugar highs and lows. So because of that, it can be more focused, and it doesn't have to work so hard. It's just burning fat as fuel, and it's just go, go, go. Hi, Jacob. How the Patriots doing? Or is it over? Rams, you know, they're going to the Super Bowl. Who they're going against? Love you. All right, and it helps lower blood pressure, and I'm a perfect candidate for that. My doctor, I did a live on this. It was a short one after I got home from the doctor, and she was amazed at how good I looked. She didn't even recognize me. She was like, what the heck? I had lost 25 pounds since in that year. We're winning, yay. Yay, yay, yay. And then my blood pressure. So I didn't go off my medicine altogether, but I lowered it. And she said within couple months, 6 months, I'll be totally off of it. So that's kind of cool. So I test that, make sure it's right on track, and it's been spot on. You know, the other day, I had a couple bloody noses, and so my friend Faye said, you need to check your blood pressure. It was perfect. Exactly. So it wasn't that. You know what it was? It was that it's really dry, and I have a cold nose, and I like to blow it too much, and it's just not good. Anyway, back to ketosis. Okay, so one of the other questions that people wanted me to talk about was, is it safe long term? And so I did a little research, more than I already knew, because I wanted to be, precise with this. And so first thing first is, it is our native state. When we're born, we're in ketosis. So how can it not be good for us? Don't overthink it, and don't buy into all of the BS that is out there about, well, you're not getting this and you're not getting that. And how do you feel? How do you look? How do you, how's your brain function? And, in reality, it's only been out there for about 100 years. The cavemans did it. Our babies are born with it, or not with it, but in it. And so to me, that says a lot. And if you look at people who are doing it and how healthy they are and how much they have benefited, how can it not be good? So don't overthink it. Just go with it. Go with what feels good. So one of the things that I found when I was kind of researching this for you is any illness, disease, they are caused from high insulin, right? So what is a carb-based diet? What is a diet that is higher in carbs, or we're eating sugar? Sugar's, only been here for 100 years itself. So how do we know which one works if it's only been there for a year? But every disease or illness is because of high insulin. So here's some examples. Heart disease, Alzheimer's, kidney problems, cancers, strokes, all affiliated with high insulin. Okay? So if ketosis and keto and low carb is a low insulin diet, then how can that not be good, right? Seriously, you guys. Quit overthinking it and do what feels good. You guys know carbs don't feel good. You know that you don't feel good when you have a big old stack of pancakes that are made from wheat, okay? So let's be clear. I can make pancakes keto style and they're delicious. Now, you can overthink that too. Well, what kind of syrup do I use? Okay, I use sugar-free. Well, sugar-free syrup has all this, Okay, so let's get back to it and just be basic. Let's not overthink it, okay? Listen to your body. If you eat tons of potatoes, or you eat potato chips and this and that and sugar, how do you feel? You don't feel good. You feel sluggish. You feel you have a stomach ache. You're just not right. Your brain's all foggy and you're just not right. Well, why wouldn't you listen to that, right? Okay. So I'm going to read a little bit so that I don't confuse anybody. So there's nothing bad about keto. There's nothing bad about ketosis. If our body naturally makes ketones, how can that be bad? Right? I take a form of ketones that, please make me some keto pancakes. Okay, I will. Super easy. The ketones put me in ketosis. So some people balk at that. Well, you're taking a product. Well, I am taking a product, but it's a product that my body already produces. So it's just like a vitamin, right? And it guarantees me, because one of the things that with ketosis and keto is it's super hard to stay in ketosis. If you have any bit of sugar, you have stress, you don't get enough sleep, whatever it is, boom, you're out. So your diet has to be perfect, spot on, and you can't have all these other little things, okay? So that's why I have chosen to take ketones. And I would sell them to any of you, because they're amazing how they make you feel. And the fact that you are in you're in ketosis and you're just boom, 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 go, go, go. So the brain will not run efficiently on glucose. It runs efficiently on fat. That's when it does its best work. That's when your body does its best work. When it's in ketosis, you're just running like a machine, right? And the brain won't run when it's full of sugar. It just like fogs it down and weighs it down. And then you've got those ups and lows, ups and downs, right? So if someone is doubting that keto's good, how can they doubt that your brain runs better off of fat, healthy fats? Let me be clear, healthy fats versus sugar. There is just no argument, And I do have a lot of people that try to argue with me, and it's like, you know what? I don't have the energy to do that, because I'm not a doctor, for one, and I don't think we should listen to doctors, for two. And I think that you have to do your own research, and you have to feel the feeling, and until you feel the feeling, then I just know that it didn't work for me. So, and we talked a little bit about the different fuels. Let's see. Your brain loves the ketones. Okay, so how keto started was for seizures. So, if your brain is better and we don't have as many seizures on ketones versus sugar, that again is proof that our brain just chills out and it just runs and it just does its job and it's clear, and then everything else just flows. and that our body is just like boom, 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 go, go, go. And then the weight loss, of course, that's a great benefit. But there are so many benefits. But the weight loss is, of course, wonderful. I'm not going to lie. Okay, so let's see. There are some things that we do need to make sure you're getting, and you need to make sure that your carbs are coming from your vegetables, because you still need vitamins and minerals and trace minerals, and those are all going to come from your vegetables. So those are things that our body needs. And you may have to take a fiber pill, and you may have to take potassium, and you may have to do that because you aren't getting certain fruits and you're not getting all vegetables. So you have to be aware of that, and you have to research that. And that's, your responsibility to make sure that your body's getting everything it needs, because you are cutting out some things. But leafy vegetables, berries, and a high-fat diet is all good. I promise you. Well, let's see. Let's see what else I got here. I'm pretty much knocking out any kind of myths that are out there, right? There are some myths. Myths like that ketones are dirty. That's not true. Sugar is dirty. Sugar bows us down. Yuck. Ketones are clean. The other thing is that we lose muscle mass. That's the very opposite. When you're running off of fat instead of sugar, sugar and insulin will break down your muscles, where ketones and high fat will not. Okay? So, negativities. So, there are a few people that want to know the negatives. What's the negative? Okay, so I went and researched that because I personally don't think there's any negatives, but there are a few things. Hard to maintain. For a couple reasons. One, the addiction's so high. And two, it is very hard to stay in ketosis. You have to work very hard at it. But it's doable. And like I said, you can take, so they're pure therapeutic ketones. And they're just made just like, the ketones in our body. So you can do that. You can be on a really, really strict diet, or you can just go to low carb. And that's okay too. When you're in low carb, it's still very beneficial to you. You're just not getting the benefit of what ketosis does for us, which is awesome. Let's not kid ourselves, okay? So the other thing is you're getting away from a plant-based diet because you're not totally plant-based. So a lot of people say that is a negative, but that's where I said earlier about making sure that you're having leafy vegetables at every meal, and you're having maybe a supplement that helps with whatever trace minerals you're not getting, and that kind of thing. So that is your responsibility to take care of your own body and making sure you're getting all of those things. And some of the things that I would always recommend, and I know a couple people now that did a blood test. 30 days later did another blood test, and it's amazing the difference. It takes a minute to get your body to go, okay, yeah, this is good, and then levels out and everything's good. So what I would recommend is doing that. If you're really on the fence, if this is really good for us, or if it's maybe, I'm not sure if it's good, then do the blood test and you'll know. And if it's not good, please send me a message. Let me know, okay? All right. It's not necessary. Some people think that that's, I've took 4 things that I found that were negatives. Some people think you can lose weight other ways. And if that's what you're in it for, is to lose weight, totally. You can do lots of things. You can exercise. You can just do a low carb. You can just do, I know a girl that just does chicken, which is crazy. And so there's lots of other ways to lose weight. I'm not talking about just losing weight. I'm talking about keto and ketosis for benefits other than just losing weight, okay? Less fiber. So that is definitely something that you need to make sure you're making an adjustment for, is getting more fiber in your diet, be it from a supplement, different kinds of foods, this and that. But yeah, fiber is one of the negatives. And so make sure you get fiber, okay? Let me look here. Hey, when I got off sugar 100%, I got depressed. Remember, I wonder if that's linked somehow. I think it's the opposite, personally, Stephanie. I think sugar is part of the depression problem. Is that it's because it's a form of addiction. So anyway, I think I hit pretty much everything that has to do with the benefits, also the negatives, and also the dangers. So if you guys have any questions, let's open it up to questions a little bit. Give me some questions and I will do my best. Not promising. And again, I would appreciate you sharing. Hi, Bonnie. You're missing it. I'm almost done, actually. So you're going to have to go back. So you're here on the live, but you'll have to go back and look at the replay. Anybody have any questions? Hi, Ange. I heard you went to the casino last night. You're welcome, Steph. Do a little research on that. But I definitely think, and I'll go back over this with you real quick about the, now I can't find it, of course. So anxiety and depression, because our brains work better off of fat than sugar, it does help with anxiety and depression to be on a fat-based diet and be in ketosis. So not so much on sugar. So I think you just got that backwards. That's all. Okay? Yeah, watch the replay, okay? All right, you guys, share my video. Let me know if you have any questions. Drop them in there. I'll answer them for you. I hope you found some value. And I hope I answered some people's questions. I know there was a couple people, they're on the fence and they really want to know more about keto. And this is the best I got. And I believe in it 100%. And I struggle, of course, like everybody else. Once you let sugar back in, it kind of starts all over again. And so I try to keep away from that. I definitely recommend, if you want to be in that group that I'm in, I would love to put you in that group. Lots of stuff in there. If anybody's interested in ketones, I 100% believe in those and would help anyone get those. And if there's anything else that I can do for anybody, I would appreciate you guys sharing it and sending me a question, sending me anything you want. And then we can do more research. Anything you want to hear on Keto Couches, they're kind of open to me. I don't plan them ahead too much. Excuse me. The only thing that I would love if keto did is never let me get a head cold again. That would be brilliant. Why not? Why can't it do that? It does everything else for me. And I think that's it. All right, you guys, I love and appreciate you all. And I hope that somebody found some value. And if you did, throw me some hearts, share my video, and send me some love. Okay. Love you guys. I'll see you later. I'll see you tomorrow. We're going to cook. Okay?